Hey, this is Robert here at Goozy Fabrication. A big shout out to all of my DIY guys and gals out there working on your projects at home. Okay, so today's video is going to be about those little things. There's always some little things that you might overlook or not think of when you're restoring or rebuilding a classic car or truck. I'm going to be pointing a few of those things out. The goal is to get the best job that you can possibly do on your vehicle. Now, this is the 61 bubble top that we've been working on. It's really close to being done. This isn't the car we're going to showcase today, but I've had some requests on it, so we're just going to take a quick look. Yeah, these quarter panels, they don't make these quarter panels, and I had to piece together about 6 or 7 pieces. But I think we've got them worked out. They're nice and straight. Okay, let's get into the video. So our car that we're talking about, or I'm going to show you, we just got this in. It's a 1964 convertible Impala SS. Now this was at another shop, and this is how the vehicle arrived. It's already been media blasted. I have no idea who did it, but we're going to go through some things and point some things out. So let's just address the first issue that I see. Now this is obviously a convertible, and it's off the frame, needs to be braced. So what they've done is they've installed 2 like 1/4 or 1.25 inch round tubing, welded it to the body all the way around. Okay, so whenever we're welding something that needs to be removed, man, you really want to have some forethought, because this area is going to be really difficult to cut off, and then we have to grind that weld back down flush and not gouge the metal, not destroy the factory body here. Let me show you an alternate way to brace this car that I like to do. Okay, using the existing striker plate area, we can fabricate a 1/4 inch plate, attach it with hardware so that we don't have to cut off welds, do the same thing, remove this hinge, fashion it over the plate, and instead of this double tubing, we can now run a single 1.5 to 2 inch single tube, weld it to those plates. When we're done, we just need to cut the tube off, unbolt it, and the other thing that the vehicle needs to be braced correctly are tubes running across, forming a square. That's how you want to properly brace a car. Now we don't have to cut anything off when we're finished with it. All we have to do is cut the tube and unbolt it. And another thing to think about, well, we want to have the brace installed while we're working on it, before it goes on the frame fixture, or or even while it's on the frame fixture. And we don't really want to remove it until it's put back onto the frame and tightened down. So with that said, with 2 of these bars, well, that's going to make it more difficult to have access to this area. Now, if we have 1, it's going to be easier to maneuver inside with going over or under 1, especially like in this area. I mean, you have this much space, so you got to go in between these 2. Yeah, not a good time. So something to think about. Okay, while we're at it, in this area, hinges. Since they left the hinges on, which is a huge no-no. Okay, let's go. Leaving things installed. Okay, there's a nut there. The wiper transmission is still installed. Brake pedal assembly, accelerator. Ground strap. I mean, they really didn't take anything off of this car. That you don't want to do that, and let me show you why. If things like this are not removed, guess what? Yeah, see that rust? See all the rust behind that? Well, we don't want to start a restoration over that. Man, that's just sloppy. I mean, now if you're going to take your car to a media blaster, do not expect them to do this. They're not going to take things apart. Hopefully they just media blast your car and they don't destroy it. Okay, now another area is all of this caulking. And yeah, some of it's kind of tough. All of this caulking needs to come out. And that's why. Rust behind it. So all of these seams, seam sealer, all of this needs to come out. And they haven't touched any of it. All of it's still in there. Yeah, this car has been seam sealed pretty good. But all of that needs to come out. Brake pedal assembly needs to come out. These need to come out. Let me show you back here on the fender. And you know, this car looks like it's in really nice shape. And it's a real shame. Well, obviously, the outside, the easy part's been done. Looks okay. But clips are still in place. Yeah, it's like, come on, guys. That's an easy out, man. Let's do better than that. And word of advice, if you're taking your vehicle to a media blaster, do some research on that facility first. Make sure that they're doing nice quality work. When you go to pick it up, inspect it thoroughly before you pay the people. And what you're looking for is stuff like that, missed areas. And what I hope you never run into are warped areas where the person doing the media blast wasn't very competent. And what happens when the sand or whatever media they're using hits the surface, it's heating up this surface, this thin metal. And if they overheat it, it will cause warpage. And that's what happens. And if that happens, bad day. Okay, another area you really want to pay attention to. Now, I scratched this. On all older vehicles like this where they used lead, this is lead. All of this has to come out. This is in the major body seam. They always leaded those. Okay, it's hard to pick up on the camera, but there is a crack forming. Yeah, you want to get that out. Most of the time when I remove this stuff, there's rust started underneath. And I'll show you an area down here. Okay, here's another leaded seam that needs to be melted out. Now, it's really easy to do this. You can use a torch, but you have to pay more attention because you can really overheat it too fast. Now, this is a MAP gas bottle. You can get this at a Home Depot, Walmart, probably anywhere. Now, the MAP gas is a little bit hotter than the blue bottle. Lead melts out at 327-ish degrees. Steel melts at 2,500. So this is going to be really easy to melt out. Now, why we're taking that out is we already have rust holes right here. So if they're here on the edge of the lead, I'm sure there's probably rust underneath of this. Now, here's some screws that weren't removed. You know, like this. I already dug out a small area and lifted it up. Yeah, you can see rust is already starting, or rust is behind that. Just little stuff like that, man. You know, you don't want to go over. You don't want to go over that, and that can really ruin your restoration. Here's another area. If you take something out to media blast, now I peeled off. You can see the remnant of the duct tape. You want to duct tape out to this area, man, 4 or 5 layers, because you want to protect this. This is the VIN number. You don't want to damage that. And then there's a code tag here, which if they would have gotten into that anymore, this is really flimsy. Well, you can see behind that. Yeah, they would have destroyed that. Okay. After it gets back from media blast, hopefully whoever you have to do your media blast is competent. Those brown spots, well, they fit my hand really well. No, I didn't do it. But they fit my hand really, they fit a hand really well. Somebody pushed or moved that. On your hand, there are acids and oils. If you touch bare steel or media blasted steel without gloves on, you're going to cause this. Now, you won't see it immediately. This probably took 4 or 5 days for this to become visible. But if you primer over that after you've touched it all over, and it doesn't matter if I'm touching it now because it's going to go back out to media blast. That's why it's on the rotisserie. Yeah, we've got to remove all of this stuff and then do it the right way. Yeah, 4 or 5 days, this will take hold. And then if you come back and primer over that, yeah, bad deal. Okay, and this seam sealer, all of it needs to come out like I mentioned. It's pretty easy to do with a wire wheel. Well, it's easier with 2 hands than one, but you get the idea. Yeah, all of that needs to be removed. Really easy to do. There's just a lot of it. Hey, don't skimp. Don't expect the media blaster to do that for you. They will not. So you need to do that before it goes out. Yeah, and there's just sealant all over this car. I mean, that's just like a little plug. Just make sure it all gets removed. Take all of the bolts out. Take all of this stuff like this off. And here's another little trick for you. On the hinges, before they are removed, some are more specific than others. Okay, the bottom hinge won't fit on the top because of this little pocket. So what we can do is take our little grinding wheel, our cutoff wheel, okay, so I've made a little L. We don't have to go very deep. You can make it even smaller than that. Put one on the bottom too. Put a little, you don't even have to put anything on the other side because we have our left designated here. And when the car is media blasted, well, this is going to stay. If you just marked it with a marker or something, that's going to be gone. That's just another little easy trick when you start to reassemble the car. Can make life easier. And another thing, when you are at this stage, we have the doors off. Assess the hinges. So obviously that's going to need to be replaced or rebuilt. Let me say that. And I'm always a big fan of using the factory parts instead of buying replacement parts. Yeah, replacement parts, man, they can be a nightmare. And so this is what this looks like. There's a little kit for that. It comes with springs, bushings, pins. Now we can rebuild this, and we're going to rebuild this in another video. And some of the work that we're going to be doing, we're going to be replacing this floor pan. We have quite a bit of damage there and on the other side and on the braces underneath. Then we're going to replace this upper trunk deck. Now the upper trunk deck has the body mount welded onto it. Now that one is completely gone, and somebody's made this one. Yeah, that's not factory. So we're going to be replacing all of that. And this car's in pretty decent shape, I mean, for a convertible. And that's the other reason we're replacing the upper trunk deck, both sides, issues, and the complete floor pan or trunk pan. And this trunk filler panel, pretty ate up. Okay, on both sides. Now this is just from my experience. I've got some videos on this. I have ordered a replacement tail light panel. The problem is they never fit. So luckily our damage is kind of low. What I'm going to do is splice this instead of removing it and trying to install the new one, because that can turn into a nightmare. I'm not telling you not to. If that's what you want to do, you go right ahead, but you will be miles ahead metal finishing and splicing this area if you have to do that. So if you're interested in the restoration of this vehicle, it'll be coming up sometime. It's going to go out to Media Blast. Then it's going to be put into DP90 epoxy primer. And the only thing that you really want to put on bare steel is either an etching primer, something with zinc, or an epoxy. Hopefully these little tips have helped somebody. Here's another one. I'll just show you that real fast. Yeah, just remove everything. Strip the body completely. Hey, hopefully this video's helped. Robert Guzzi Fabrication. Like, subscribe, leave some comments, good or bad. And as always, thank you for watching.